better every single day. It's the place where you actually get to understand yourself on a core level. It's the place where you get to actually fall in love with yourself. Even now, even sometimes it looks like this is impossible. So this is the place where you get to access all kinds of things, from tools, community, teachings, methodology, everything that you need to do or need to actually implement and integrate in order to move in direction where it feels good, feels abundant, feels light, feels relationships thrive, your body is healing. This is the place to be, right? So in Simona's methodology, in New School of Life, there are main principles, teachings that if you are integrating them, if you are embodying them, if you are actually using the tools on day-to-day basis, you'll notice dramatic, crazy shifts happening in your physical reality, because when you shift internally, you can shift externally. Your physical life, physical reality shifts as well. Nothing changes in our physical reality until you shift internally. So in a New School of Life, I have 12 main principles that I work with. It really depends where you are in life, the story that you have, the body pains that you have or don't have, the relationship, quality of relationships, all of those things. These principles, doesn't matter where you are in life, which work, these principles are embodiment of you. And when you have embodied yourself, everything else just starts working it out. So the main thing is, when you start doing this work, you have to understand there is nothing wrong with you. Even our self-development tells you that there is something wrong with you, you need some fixiness. You don't. You exactly where you need to be. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. It's just from that moment on, you want to learn how to calibrate and to plug in and to connect. Because when you connected and plug in and connected, you know where you need to go. You know what you need to do. No one can actually tell you do this and that. You only know what to do, and it's what is for you. No one can know what is meant to you. Only you know. And for you to know and trust in that requires connection, requires plugging in. So the first principle, first code that you can call it, is the identity. Is shifting identity, because let's be real, you cannot receive greater things in life while you are shrinking yourself. You cannot receive great amounts of abundance if you are in lack abundance, energetically, not emotionally or physically. You cannot have greater little conscious relationships if you are toxic to yourself. So identity is understanding this is the improvement of the relationship between you and you, so you can shift your state of being in a very different level where that person, that beautiful woman, can receive greater things. So we're gonna go through identity shifting. And the beauty about it, that you're not becoming somebody else. You're actually just becoming more of you. The person who always meant to be. The second thing that we're actually going through is to do polarities, the two aspects of you. The foundational is the feminine and the masculine energy. The breathing and exhaling. The giving and receiving. The doing and the being. The embodiment of those two aspects of you is the crucial part, because that is your energetic signature. The way your inner woman feels, the way your inner child feels, depends on the polarity that you hold within yourself. Your quality of your relationships, intimate and platonic, really also depends of energetic signature, the feminine and masculine energy. So before anything else, identity shifting and feminine and masculine energies are the crucial part of these teachings. It's just, you cannot go away without it. You're not going to be able to feel good and have peace within you and trust yourself and trust man and trust the feelings and trust the intuition until you're going to have the embodiment of those energies, having them dance together without suppression, without judgment, without yuckiness, but just allowing them to be and dance together. So that requires cleanliness to happen. The next thing is the mirror work. So mirror, there's a beautiful teaching I used to do, actually share with my clients, the Louise Hay work, where she asked me to stand in front of the mirror, tell that you're beautiful, that you love yourself, and all of those things. This is beautiful exercise to do. But mirror work that I mean is understanding how everything on a physical reality, people, situations, circumstances, triggers, emotions, words, everything is actually mirroring you something about you, a part about you. There is a message behind everything. So you stop pointing fingers what people do or don't do, they say or they don't say, and you start learning the messages, what is mirroring you, where you're not free yet. In other words, you're becoming you are getting in the state of being where you just stop controlling, but reading more what you need to know, what I need to know about this situation, what you need about this feeling, what I need to know about this story, and so on. So life becomes more like a game rather than push and I need to figure it out, because trust me, there is nothing to figure out here. You just need to receive the guidance and go along with it. So you're shifting from here into your body, shifting from here into your heart. Very important. The next is the body matrix. I even run Body Beyond Matrix, where I shared more about the body and all kinds of things. So here's the thing, body and emotional body and mental body, they work hand in hand. What I see, women tend to like just kind of go with one thing. So they just train their asses off, but they forget the energetic emotional body. Some women just continuously doing the emotional work, but they actually don't do anything on a physical body. So here's the thing, this is a complete package. This is what you got on this planet Earth. So you need to work with the body, with the emotional body, with the energetic body, with spiritual body, with mental body, and they need to work hand in hand. Because you notice your body responds to emotional body, period. You feel closed off, you feel like depressed, you feel sad, you notice your rounding shoulders. What happens when you're rounding shoulders? Your heart closes off, you start feeling even more lower. What that happens on a physical body? You're rounding shoulders. That means all the tension comes, all the traps, and in a thoracic spine starts closing off, and you start feeling all kinds of pains in your neck, in your back, then your lower back, and kind of like then your hips and sciatica, lower back again. Body is continuously working with the emotional body, and the more you learn to dance, this is what I'm going to be sharing, body matrix, where we're going to work with the body to be able to feel and have the best effect, where you feel like, oh my god, yes, amazing, I look good, I feel good, and I feel good an emotional body, and energetically I know where I'm going, and I'm really feeling connected. That's my intention, connection, right? Next, art of receiving. So again, this has to do with the feminine and masculine energy, but art of receiving, it is an art for me, because something to receive for me was the hardest thing in life. We hyper-independent women, we really find it hard to receive because we're the givers. I do this, I can do that. We're overgiving because we're compensating the energy by doing work, shopping, relationships, social life, whatever that is for you. But the point is, we overdoing it for receive for us is very, very hard. And with the receiving is actually receiving and understanding. Universe constantly sends us things. The universe is pregnant with all the things that we want. But if you're not in the receptive mode, where we actually want to receive those things, and we can receive those, and we allow ourselves to receive those things, universe otherwise cannot send it. It's like basically asking for things and which is in the next room, but you're keeping the doors closed. So art of receiving is about understanding how to open the door so you can receive all those things. And when you start receiving, you just start building the momentum, which is the next point for me. It's like the momentum, because momentum can go in a positive and a negative. And momentum is something that goes and moves the time that you are awake. Momentum stops when we sleep. The moment we sleep, momentum stops and kind of regenerates and all these things, and starts the moment we open the eyes, right? So that's why understanding momentum and how you activate the positive and negative momentum, the buttons that you push. Sometimes we think that we're doing the right thing, but in actually what we're doing energetically and emotionally is the opposition. And this is where we're all getting a lot of wrong, because what you say and what you feel, what you say and what you project are two different things. What you say and what button you push energetically are two different things. And when that disconnection is, normally you're going down the rabbit hole, and you call that emotional roller coasters. So how to hold your energy, how to hold the momentum, and how to move momentum in direction of your alignment is the crucial part. This is like basic knowledge, and when you get to the knowledge where you understand, you don't start blame, you don't blame yourself for doing something, but instead, that's the momentum and this is what I need to do. So you start using tools, the right tools for you to shift the momentum. You start feeling like you are in control of your energy, because again, you can't be in control of anything. The only one thing you can be in control of is your energy. And the more you're going to practice being in control of your energy rather than what people say or don't say, the circumstances, you're always going to win. That's the magic. Next, personal power and circumstantial power. This is where I kind of touched base on previously. There's the two powers, personal power and circumstantial power. Personal power is when you don't give your power, your emotions away because someone said something or did something or circumstances didn't work. Normally we tend to get caught up into like, I cannot do this because of XYZ. I cannot have this because XYZ. I cannot go there because XYZ. We constantly give our power away to circumstances without understanding or realization that circumstances are simply a byproduct of our belief systems. So in order to circumstances to change, we need to change internally. So the circumstances could change. Versus like where we learn or train to do is, so we change and move the circumstances, fix things and externally hoping that is gonna do something. And then normally end up exhausted because you cannot manifest or create something different than you actually feel. So it always comes down to internally. So in this part of circumstantial power and personal power, it's so important to understand we're gonna go through embodiment of your personal energy, where you understand what is yours, what is not yours, what is the projection, what is yours, what you're actually mirroring, or what is the message. And it's a radical responsibility of your own emotions. It's the shifting from the girl's energy into a woman's energy, where you actually stand strong in your personal energy, and that people cannot take that away from you because it's yours and you understand it's yours and you own it. It's an extremely important part, and the part where like you start building a really trusting in yourself and trusting your intuition, trusting your feelings and trusting your word and trusting your decisions. I love this, even the concept of it, because for a long time I always kind of gave my life to everybody else. I did everything what everybody else wanted, but what I wanted, it was kind of left at the end of the list. And when I started embodying the personal power, it became like, wow, I can actually do things and I can have these relationships as well. I don't have to shrink myself in order to have friends or have a partner or have kids or have a health or have a body, right? Next, we're gonna go into relationship part, where we're gonna talk about the polarity with a man and a woman, the relationship, feminine and masculine, the needs, the desires, the communication, the pointing fingers, how to express, how to feel, how to communicate that, how to get what you want from the place of alignment without pointing the fingers or nagging or like, you did this, this is what like normally happens. And this number one, I think that's the number one of breakup, because it's lack of understanding or knowledge how we are so different in the way we communicate and the way we think. And we tend to change each other or try to like make each other to understand how we do the things. But if you understand we are so different and we want to learn how to cooperate, and when we using this personal power into, I'm gonna hold myself in energy and I'm coming in this relationship as not as from the place of the lack that I need a prince to save me, but from the place of, again, hold my own emotions. And the most important thing, it's not coming from the place of protection where you kind of, I'm gonna do this on my own. That kind of thing, that comes like you're in embodiment of love, where it just comes to you. It's like that, the push and the pull energy. Because when you're in the push energy, you chase, you go after it, you try to prove it, you try to have validation, you try to get attention, you constantly push and try really hard. Pull energy is when you're actually pulling everything towards you without even trying. It's just your energy speaks louder. And that is embodiment, all of those things that I talked about so far, right? Then human design. I love human design. If you haven't touched Human design, I haven't heard about it. Human design is incredible to get to know yourself. Human design is basically tells you a lot about who you are as a person, how you operate in life, your emotional channels, how you judge general, what is your, in a sense, um, purpose in life, and how to work with that, how to work with your emotions, feelings, patterns, like everything. So human design is really tells you the type of you are. There are a few types of it, and but once you kind of get in my world, you're gonna get to know more of it. So I'm gonna keep this specific topic on the other video, but this is something that's gonna be part of it, right? Energetics of self-leadership is the next point. This is how the embodiment of all those things leads you to self-leadership. This is where you get to understand yourself on a cellular level. This is where you're gonna lead yourself through like shitstorms. This is where you can be able to hold a duality. The lower you can go, the higher you can go. When you actually try to avoid the negative, try to avoid the pain, try to avoid all the negativity, you're normally shrinking yourself somewhere in the middle. If you imagine there's a scale and you're shrinking here, but the point is from here you cannot go this much. But when you're actually gonna go lower and you learn how to hold pain, you learn how to hold the frustration or anger, disappointment in the low. Probably it's like I attract really women who have a big story to tell, and they have been to the rock bottom, where they really felt like there is so much pain, where they're kind of questioning your life. So those women can actually go really high if they're embodying all the tools that I'm teach. Because that's embodiment of your own energy is like leads you to really high frequencies, right? So that's the magic. Self-leadership is depends how well you hold emotional scale and how fast is your emotional metabolism. That means how quickly you process things. I'm not saying you're not suppress your emotions. You're not pretending they're not there. It's not pretending that if you feel something different, that's the greatest disservice you did yourself to feel one thing and say that you feel something different. So it's about learning to hold a duality and process things faster every single time. That's a self-leadership. So next is the nervous system regulation. This is where I'm gonna actually put meditations, rampages. So you always can actually be with me. You can walk on the street, the beach, on a train, on a bus, driving. You can always be with me and like constantly reinforce at different beliefs, different words, different way of seeing life, different perception. It's all pre-recorded. You can plug in whatever that you feel like it. You need 1% shift. You need morning motivation. You need evening motivation. You need lie down for 10 minutes on a block. This is what you get. Beautiful. Always can stay on track and focus on one thing. Because this is what I'm realizing, the women tend to use a lot of different podcasts, books and everything else, and they start doing a lot of things at once, and it gets overwhelmed because that's the mental body and you're getting overload, so your physical body cannot catch up, and that's why you start overwhelming and you lose it. But when you focus on one thing and you get it all, you'll notice you can actually do it and finally get the momentum going. And this is where you say like, yes, I did it, because you just focused on one thing. You're not overloading your mental body, but you're actually working with mental, emotional, physical body. They all work together because your body needs to catch up with your expansion as well. What I'm gonna share in body matrix, the physical part of it is sometimes you get sick, sometimes you get different things when you're shifting, because body needs sometimes time to catch up. So sometimes the sicknesses or symptoms are not a bad thing, sometimes it's a great thing. You just want to learn how to work with it, right? And the final is energetics of abundance, because abundance is different types of abundance. It's time abundance, money abundance, beauty abundance, and abundance is everywhere. But we live in a lack of abundance because we've been trained and conditioned, as you already know, probably as you've been experiencing, to live in shortage consciousness rather than abundance consciousness, which is the foundational thing. Understand one thing: once you get that, life becomes so much easier. Shortage consciousness is when you believe that we actually are in a competition on this planet Earth. That imagine there is a piece of cake and everyone is sharing that cake, everybody. So you're desperately trying to get your piece of cake. Versus abundance consciousness, understanding there's a plenty of cakes and there is nothing to share. I can have a piece of cake and you can have a piece of cake, and everybody gets how big, how small, or small or big the cake, the piece of cake is, depends on what they actually energetically broadcasting, how much they asking energetically. Because you can ask for $1 million, but if you're energetically, your identity, current identity is asking for $1,000, you cannot receive 1,000,000 because you're asking 1,000. Not what you're saying, but energetically. So there is no competition. Everybody gets to live, but you want to shift from shortage consciousness in abundance consciousness, where you understand like there is no competition and everybody gets to live, gets to experience the life that they want, and there is no jealousy because you get to win too. I get to win too. It's like we are together, we are a team. And the more I cheer you on, the more I succeed. The more you cheer me on, the more you succeed. It's like, it's a beautiful like energy of love, because trust me, there is no shortage. You're not sharing the same piece of cake. We have cake each if you wanted to. So there is no competition. So these are the main principles we're working with in this new school of life. And the more you start embodying the tools, the knowledge, the teachings, the change in the way you see perception, and most importantly integrating them in your body, in your emotional body, the way you feel about them, the way you feel about you and abundance, you and relationships, you, and the more you clean that up, your life becomes like a beautiful kind of a miracle, because you get to receive things, you get to see things, you start feeling lighter, your body feels good, you start feeling relaxed, you're feeling like you're going with the flow and things just happening, and you stop pushing, stop controlling, stop chasing. And you're in that pool energy where like you still do a lot of things, but they're coming from the place of inspiration, they're coming from the place of lightness, they're coming from the place of desire, from passion. And universe supports that energy, because universe is such a like thermometer. It really shows you where you are. The universe like loves universe loves negative and positive equally. The more you're gonna ask for, more you sit in energy of lack, universe sends you more luck, because this is what you're asking. So basically it's really learning the language of your energy, and universe can just mirroring it that back. So we in the new school of life, we're learning how to leverage that and get better at it, because that's the magic. And I love magic. My life has been exponentially growing for the last 10 years. And the last few years has been incredibly crazy to watch the transformations, the shifts that's happening with my body, with my life, with what I am, what I'm doing, being now a mother, having your own house and traveling around the world, building business. It's incredible. I never thought it's possible for me. I never thought that the girl who like grew up in a small village with 5,000 people can actually have that. I've been told that I cannot have that. I've been told so many times I'm too much. I've been told that I'm stupid. I'm told that I don't belong. I've been told so many times that like someone's gonna hurt me, I'm gonna die, that prescribed so many diseases. I've always been told that I'm not gonna succeed, I'm not gonna get it done, I'm gonna die young and sick. And the reason I'm here where I am now, because of those tools. Because what I've actually embodied throughout the years. This is not just me going there. There was a study. There was me and going, embodying the tools as I go. Fractured spine. What I did, all the tools I embodied. It was from going from knowing into embodiment and integrating. And then when you start seeing the miracles happening, when you pass that fear of like what happens when I'm integrating, when you pause that and kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna do it because you're just so done and so sick and tired of like the old shit, you start creating the miracles. And you start seeing it, that kind of gives the buzz to keep doing and keep more and more and more, and you see magic happens. So if this is even resonating with you, this is when it feels like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. This is what I've been waiting for. Join the new school of life. Do those trainings. Make a call with me. Ask questions. I love questions, because question for me is like, I just know someone is like ready to clean up when it comes to this, right? So it's like, it's instant freedom. So ask questions. There is so many ways. There are so many things you can listen, watch, and just keep moving in the direction of your alignment. And follow that inspiration, follow that relief, because this is where the magic happens. So I hope to see you inside.